Today I'm going to share with you how these pairs of shoes and that small carry-on changed my mindset forever 10 years ago. My husband and I were going on a backpacking trip through Europe for 30 days, and we were only going to bring the things that were on our back. We wanted to make sure that we could carry everything with us on our long journey. I kept asking myself, why does my life have to feel so much heavier than this? No clutter, no decision fatigue, no digging through piles of clothes to get dressed in the morning. When you're packing to go on a trip, what do? We only bring the most essential and our absolute favorites, and everything else just has to go. And all those years ago, it woke me up to the idea that we really don't need as much as we think we do if we were to just pick our favorites and let the rest of it go. How much happier could we really be in our homes? And honestly, it also had me thinking, there's only so much that our brains can remember that we own, remember that we need to miss. And so when those things were gone, I was no longer seeing them every day. I didn't miss anything that I had left behind. And this long backpacking trip did something really amazing for me, because when it was over and I had to come back into my home with all of these things, I realized that it wasn't that I was lazy and I hated to clean, though I do hate dusting. It was that I had way too many things in my home to process, to go through, that my brain couldn't make logical decisions. It just wasn't possible in a state of fight or flight all of the time. And where it still took me several more years and a lot of mistakes to figure out what I was missing and to find minimalism, that first backpacking trip sparked something inside of me that I never forgot about. It was the idea that my brain was always overstimulated because all of the visual input that was going on around me in my home. And though I didn't know at the time how to fix that, today I have, and no longer do I wish to run out of my home. And I'm no longer in an angry cycle of always being exhausted with all the things I need to deal with. Your brain is going to be able to relax when your home has a lot less clutter. Let's talk about the real reasons why we are all having a hard time decluttering, and we're living in this scarcity mindset. Growing up and not having a lot, and then being able to slowly work my way where I had my teaching job, I had a little bit of money, and I could buy things for myself, felt really good. Not feeling scared all the time that I wasn't gonna have enough food or money led me to feel like I needed to buy everything and anything. And if you've ever seen Clueless, that's what I grew up on. And I just wanted the closet of my dreams. But the problem with that is that I got all of these things, realized that they were making me absolutely miserable, but couldn't get rid of them because my brain was telling me, what if I need this one day? What if something happens and I don't have this? I know how much money I spent on it, and I was crippled by the anxiety of getting rid of things just as much as I was crippled by my stuff. This is where it took me years of decluttering, and it wasn't overnight. I had to start changing my mindset from scarcity, my what ifs, to if I did get rid of this item, what would happen? What would be my plan B? The what would I do? Could I borrow it? Could I repurpose something that I already have? Could I use something similar? Those ideas never struck me when I had everything I could possibly want. But when you start decluttering, your brain does something amazing, and it starts to be more pliable, more flexible in how you can use the items that you are keeping in your home to fulfill all the needs of the things that you decluttered. You can also do something that I highly recommend, because I still do it to this day, and that is using a maybe bin or a maybe box. It's a place that you can feel secure that these things that you are decluttering are not gone. They are just out of your visual space. They are out of sight, out of mind. And what that does for us in our brain is that it helps us to reevaluate and check with our bodies. This thing is not gone, but I'm not using it. What does this mean for my future? Can I get rid of these old tennis shoes that I haven't worn in a long time because I haven't gone to see them in 30 to 60 days? These moments when I would do these maybe declutters were extremely important because they opened up my eyes to the fact that there are so many things that we bring into our home with really good intentions, but we don't need them at the end of the day. We have things that we could use instead, and yet we're stuck in that scarcity mindset that's not letting us go. Here's something that most of us don't realize. We are stuck in a clutter loop because of something called habitation. Habitation. I think that's how you say it. It means that our brain adapts to our clutter. that we get used to seeing the shoes on the ground. We get used to seeing the boxes laid on the table every single day. And so what do? We don't do anything about it. We walk by those pair of socks 7 or 8 times and we never pick them up because we're just used to it. And that's why when I really wanted to make a change in my life and start to declutter a lot more, I decided that I had to do a few different things. I had to start challenging myself to notice that clutter by taking pictures of the rooms, or I would challenge myself to create capsule wardrobes where I only could have a certain amount of clothes. When you start to play these decluttering games, you realize that your brain can all of a sudden start seeing these things as clutter as opposed to just the picture that's been on the wall for 30 years. We start seeing them a little bit differently and noticing how they affect our body, because where we may have thought before that clutter is just sitting there, that picture frame has always been there. Every item in our home, whether we consider it clutter or not, is a decision that's waiting to happen. We have to clean it. We have to move it. We have to take care of it somehow. It has to go in the house. It has to go back out of the house. There are a million decisions with every single item that we bring into our home. And yes, we'd like to have things. So it's not like I'm going to declutter everything. But I started deciding that I was no longer going to allow myself to get so fatigued by clutter that it would take over how I felt throughout the day. It was not going to dictate my feelings. So if you're with me and you are ready to start a journey of taking your life back and owning up to the fact that your house is cluttered, but you don't want it that way anymore, then we're going to start with one of my favorite things, and it's called the slope method. I did not make this up, but it is genius. It's a psychology-based method that helps you break your clutter down into tiny zones. When I am decluttering any space, I start with one corner at a time. And it's like you're going down a slope on skis. You're slowly going from one corner to the next corner. And whenever you feel tired, that's your sign that it's time to be done. This has proven to me to be something so beneficial because it allows your brain to not go into that fight or flight. You're not looking at the whole picture of the entire space that you have to declutter. You are starting just with one basket or one bin in a space, and that's it. If you can declutter that, you build momentum to say, hey, okay, I made some really good decisions. Now I can keep moving on. It builds those quick wins so that your brain doesn't start feeling overwhelmed by all of the clutter that you may have in the room. You're able to just zone in and feel really focused about what you're doing in that moment. So this week, as we're decluttering our home, we are going to start saying to ourselves, first, would I pack this? If I had to leave my house right now and I was going to be gone for a long, long time, what are the things that would make the list and go into my suitcase that I have to then carry on my back and feel the weight of all of my things? If you wouldn't bring it in your suitcase, then I want to know why, friends, you're trying to keep it in your life. I want to thank today's sponsor, Stasis. When I was diagnosed with ADHD at 34, so many pieces of my life finally started making sense. I started taking Stasis alongside my stimulant, and one thing I appreciate was that it was designed for people who use stimulants. While I take 5-ANTs, taking Stasis helps me to stay focused. I definitely recognize some of the common downsides, like feeling a little jittery at times, the afternoon crash, or feeling wired but tired when it's time for me to wind down. Stasis is a precision formulated supplement system for 2 products that work together. The daytime formula is designed to help support energy levels, balance dopamine, and make the day feel a little steadier, while the nighttime formula helps your body to wind down, replenish, and restore after a very busy day. And every batch is third-party tested, so you know exactly what you're getting. If you're someone who uses stimulants and wants to talk more about supporting your focus while addressing some of the predictable downsides, check out my link in the description and use my code Rebecca15 for 15% off your first order. Then you know what I want us to do? I want us to think about, in my daily life, have I noticed this item? That's going to give you a good wake-up call that a lot of us need in order to break out of that feeling that we're just used to seeing all of this clutter. If you haven't noticed it in months, then guess what? The great thing is that your brain has already let it go. Real quick, if you haven't yet, come join us on Minimal Ease here. And of course, throw a heart emoji down below if you're already organizing and decluttering with us. The other thing I love to think about is, how is this helping my life today? Am I using it today? Is it something that's benefiting me today. How can we start living in the moment and not worrying about what the future might hold? As somebody who grew up not having everything that I wanted and living in a family that was very dependent on other people's generosity and help, it created this idea in me that every item could possibly have a purpose, so I can't get rid of anything. But when we sit down and we step back and look at the things that we have in our house, even when I was growing up and I had a lot less, my mom will say that we had so many donations of clothing for my sister and I that a lot of times she'd end up having to get rid of them because it was too much for our tiny home. Even though these are things that we were excited to have and we needed to have, we couldn't have more than our home could handle, or our family couldn't function. We couldn't move if we had kept all of those things. So I challenge you today to change your mindset from someday I'll use this, someday I'll bring it out, to how is it helping me right now in this moment? If it's still in the drawer and packed away, then it's not helping you. And I guarantee you there's somebody out there who would absolutely love to have that item that you're not using. And that's always helped me with the next one, which is finding clarity in the quantity that you need. As we're getting rid of these things and we're donating them and we're feeling really good that we're helping a friend out, I want you to think about the clarity and the quantity that you have. In my 37 years of life, I've learned on this planet is that we don't need more things in our life. What we need is better quality things. We need thoughtful things. When we bring those into our life, our day-to-day gets better. It gets easier. Having an automatic vacuum that I absolutely love and adore makes my life easier. Having our goat lawnmower outside makes my life easier. These are items that I've brought in because I thought through them and I knew that this was something that could really help my future. But having multiple of these wouldn't make my life any better. If anything, it would just add to the complication of having to deal with more things. Building in that clarity of the quantity that you need in your life. And I'll show you guys also in my bathroom. I use this idea and it has impacted the way that I live in our bathroom and spend all of our time. But I have these baskets with the lid and they give me clarity because I cannot go past this basket. Sure, I could get another basket and start filling that, but I don't. And you know why? Because this basket gives me the clarity that I have enough medicine if it can fit in this one basket. When I have more, it is time for me to look through it and start decluttering, not expanding to more, because expanding has never brought me happiness. So what can we expect? We're decluttering this week and we're getting rid of tons of stuff. What can we expect to happen? The first thing that I noticed 6 years ago when I really started decluttering was that I felt uncomfortable. It was weird. Let's put it that way. It was a weird feeling to get rid of things instead of just bringing them in. And that was a feeling that didn't go away immediately. It took a while of decluttering, of getting over that feeling that it was okay to let these things go. I didn't need to have money back for them. I didn't need to sell everything I was decluttering. That's something I can talk about in another video. If you're interested, let me know. But I didn't need to constantly have more. I realized that I had to just live in being uncomfortable. And I had to get rid of the old visions of myself that I wanted this bigger house. I wanted this huge closet. No longer could I live with that vision. I had to take a serious look at myself and know that I had made really questionable choices. I had spent way too much money, way too much time trying to build up this empire of things. And once I was at the top, I was so unhappy. And that leads to letting go of this illusion we have of control. You do not have control of your life. I hate to break it to you, but you don't. Sure, we all get the chance to make choices and decisions, but at the end of the day, in our neighborhood, 2 houses burnt down in the past 10 days. Did they have a choice in that happening? Absolutely not. As a community, we've been completely devastated by that, but they didn't get a choice in having nothing all over again and starting over. So this illusion that you have control, if you have all of your stuff, it's something that is going to suffocate you eventually. And I only know that from personal experience of suffocating underneath all of my things. So that feeling that I first got all those years ago when I was backpacking through Europe, you don't have to travel in order to get that kind of experience. You can create lightness right now in one space around your house, and you'll feel the same things that I did. That we don't need to organize more, we don't need better bins that are prettier. We just need less stuff in order to feel better in our spaces and to feel that lightness that I felt while I was traveling with just a book bag full of things. All right, friends, if you want to continue learning a little bit more, then watch one of these videos right here. And I wish you guys all the very best.